Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Trey Cockrum, and I have personally spent just about $100,000 on my own self-education as a 21-year-old entrepreneur, and I just want to break down the results of what I've gained over this past, I'd say about 2 years of investing in coaches, programs, courses, everything like that. Suffice to say, it's gone pretty well. But I do want to break down exactly what I've learned and some of the key ideas that we now teach our clients, as well as some of the things that I've applied in my business that have allowed me to grow to over $1 million a year in my company and helping other people do the exact same thing in their consulting or agency businesses. So I just want to get right into it, not really fluff around too much. And, if you want the list of people that I've joined up with or invested into, you're welcome to message me. I'll tell you some of my favorites, but just due to the nature of a public platform, you got to be pretty careful with where you send people. Your reputation's on the line, their reputation's on the line. So I'll recommend people privately, but publicly, it's always a different sort of a ball game. So I do want to get into this though. What have I learned? What's been the main takeaways? Well, I've learned that there's really only a few things that matter in order to actually grow a business. Okay. I think people will make it seem like there's a lot more, variables or a lot of different things to consider when growing a company. But in reality, there's only a few things that you need. The first is offer. And when I say offer, I basically mean something that you can sell, whether it's over the phone or through a webinar or whatever it might be, whether it's a software tool or a service or consulting or it's design or whatever it might be. You have an offer that is needed in a given market, and it really does come down to being that simple. You don't need something new. You don't need to be original. You just have to make sure that your offer works and that it can scale decently well. So as a lot of you know, my very first business when I was just getting started as an entrepreneur was actually wedding photography, and I was a wedding photographer for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. That was my first real business, right? And I learned back then that you really don't need to be original in order to make money. So, back then there was a lot of wedding photographers in the state of Indiana, and I was just one of many. And I learned that, you can still make good money even in a saturated niche or a saturated market. You just have to stand out somehow, or you at least have to be consistent in meeting the status quo that is kind of set by the competitors in your arena. And you'll end up making a good amount of money because of the nature of the market. Enough people need something, enough people are buying, so therefore you still end up making money, right? So that's kind of the first thing that I've learned throughout entrepreneurial, endeavors and investing as much as I have in my own self-education is that you just need one good offer. You don't need 10 or 11 or 12 offers. A lot of entrepreneurs that come out with a new thing, it seems like every quarter they have a new 997 product or a new software tool or a new something. But in reality, you just need one really good thing. And, as it is now, I have one offer. We call it high-level systems. We used to have a beginner tier offer and an offer after that, and we may go back to doing that at some point. But really, we've got one main offer. It's called high-level systems, and it's where we essentially help you start and grow your own marketing agency or consulting business, whether you're doing coaching services or you're consulting at a high ticket level. For example, one of our clients, Luke Voigt, is working on, and I believe he's closed a $25,000 upfront consulting package for a corporate company. And so we just kind of help you pick a niche, build an offer, and market it to that industry and sell high ticket packages anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 typically. And that's what we help you do. And, that's my main offer. It's high level systems. It's a decent investment for a lot of people, but when they get started, they get results pretty quick. And if you're interested in that, you can obviously book a call down below with myself or the team. We'll see if you're a good fit, and we only make offers to people that we know are legitimately a good fit. One of our clients today, Lucas, he actually was charging $300 a month for his clients, and we actually helped him sell a $7,500 package for the first time. I was literally on a call actually today with him, which was a lot of fun. So that's literally my only offer. We've got one offer. And that's what we do $1 million a year with. So it's a lot of fun to, be able to help these people and also, be able to bring in a lot of money doing that. So that's the first thing I've learned. I've spent, again, $100,000 on my own education. And the main thing that I've learned is one offer. One good offer is typically the separator between, $2,000 to $5,000 a month and $80,000 to $100,000 a month. If you've sold about 10 or 15 copies of whatever offer it is, you've got proof of concept, and that means you can scale it to $1 million a year pretty easily, okay? And I say easily relatively, obviously. At my stage, it would be pretty easy for me to scale just about any solid consulting offer to $1 million a year, but you obviously have to understand how to do it and actually, the technicals behind, the funnel, the sales process, building your team, the right mindset and things like that, right? So that's the first thing I've learned. The next thing that I've learned is you don't want to build a system until you have proven the process. And what do I mean by this? Well, a lot of people think like when they're just getting into running an agency, for example, or they're just getting into running a business, that they need all the right systems. They need the right SOPs, for example, like standard operating procedures. And I'm sure you've heard this term in the industry before where, it's like, oh, here's our onboarding SOP, or here's our delivery SOP, or here's our sales SOP. Like, those are all good, but the problem is, you're just adopting somebody else's like pipe work when you don't even have any water flowing yet. So you almost have this like whole built out system and this whole process you don't even really need yet because you don't have any water flowing through. So a lot of educators out there, they'll sell, hey, here's my SOP, or here's my system, and we don't sell, we show you how to build systems, but we don't really sell them because we're just giving you, again, like an empty pipe. It's almost like, having plumbing installed into a house where there's no water source. It just doesn't make any sense. So really you want to just have a process, which means get water flowing and be willing to get wet, make a little bit of a mess, and then build piping around it as you grow, as opposed to building the piping first. This goes against a lot of people's sort of perfectionistic mentalities regarding business where they feel like they need to have, the right perfect onboarding or sales or contract or how they handle their taxes, which this is not tax advice. Obviously, you should handle your taxes, but just this perfectionistic mentality towards their business before they even get started, they don't even realize that they're holding themselves back because they're making problems out of thin air and they're waiting on things to feel right or the system to work before they even just go out there and start making sales, which should be your primary number one motive and motivator as a entrepreneur from that $0 to $10,000 a month range. And there's two more things that I've learned from all these educators, and one is, kind of a bit of an intangible. It's something that nobody really taught me, but I just kind of had to realize it myself after going through so many programs, and it's that nobody really knows the perfect way of doing anything. Even myself, I will tell our clients when they're in our program and getting our help, I'll say, look, this is not like the word of God. This is not liquid gold. We're giving you the way that we do it. And if you follow through, you're going to get results. But more than likely, there's something that will come down the pipe or will happen to you that, A, we will have given you the wrong advice and you're going to have to figure it out yourself. Or B, there's going to be an issue that you didn't foresee coming and that we didn't foresee coming, or even see, you're going to realize that this is completely the wrong way of doing things. You have to reinvent it entirely, but you're going to follow the same principles, which are, sell, have a good offer, have a good product, and focus on customer experience at the end of the day, and then just take more sales calls after you figure those things out. So, no matter who you invest into, it could be like the top of the line, best educators on the planet. They're still going to give you things that don't really totally apply to you. And that's just the nature of the industry. That's the nature of education in general is, you shouldn't follow what people say so closely to the point where you think that their word is the only word that matters. You'll find if you look throughout history of, business educators or people that have programs or whatever it is. I mean, this industry has been around since, business has been around. People have been training people on business models and selling through, like seminars and all these sorts of things. And it's been around for a good while. But if you look like all the commonalities, it seems like a lot of the same core principles are the same no matter who you're investing into. And that's really what you're trying to figure out is what are the core principles that work no matter who I'm investing to and no matter, whether it's a $10,000 program or a $500 program, what's the core commonalities throughout these educators and what they're saying. And, you really want to be reading in between the lines and realizing that at the end of the day, you have to come up with your own sort of unified field theory based on the people you've worked with, the people that you will work with in the future, the people you've worked with in the past, and even the people that you've observed for free on YouTube like this. And then the last thing that I've learned, having spent $100,000 on my own self-education, is pretty simple. It is the best investment you can make into yourself. Don't get it twisted. Opening a Robinhood account and putting a bunch of money into a bunch of stocks and S&P 500 index funds and stuff like that is good for you long term for sure. But if you really just want to grow your business and you really just want to, sorry, my Slack's going off. If you really just want to get results quick and you want to hijack the process of learning and succeeding as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. Getting help from people that have been there and done that by far is the easiest way to scale. Every time I've invested anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 into a program, or somebody's helped me one-on-one or whatever it might be. I remember the very first coach I hired I paid them $2,000. Every single time I've done it, I have had the mindset of, okay, I'm just gonna do what they tell me to do, and I'm not gonna judge the information. I'm not gonna have any expectations. I'm just gonna follow through. And that's why I've been able to scale my business so quickly, is because I'm always a student. I'm always learning based on the successes of other people, and I never feel like I've fully arrived at success because there's always something to learn. Even just a few days ago, I put $18,000 into another mastermind that I want to be a part of. It's a small Facebook group of about 40 or 50 people that are all doing $1 million a year or more. And I was like, of course I want to be a part of that. I want to surround myself with people who are succeeding at the level that I'm succeeding or greater, and that's what I'm getting in this community. So why wouldn't I join that? That's literally the best investment I can make. Sure, I blow money on watches sometimes. I've got like $65,000 in watches. You can see that video. It was recorded a few days ago. You can scroll back on the channel. Yep, I drive a cool car, Jaguar F-Type. I love that thing. Sure, we spend a lot of money on advertising, on team expenses, on different things inside of the company. But at the end of the day, sorry, I keep hitting this mic. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing that. At the end of the day, what I'm most excited to spend my money on is my own education. And I'll end the video with a quote from one of the all-time GOATs in the business space, Jim Rohn. And he says, public education or institutionalized education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. If you know what questions to ask, who to ask them to, and how to implement the advice that you're given, then you will always know how to conquer the next hurdle in your life and in your business, because wisdom is passed down generationally and by experience, not by theory, not by speculation, but by experience, handing down experience. And that's the best way to learn. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is kind of some of the summaries that I've had spending just about $100,000 on my own self-education as a 21-year-old entrepreneur. I didn't finish high school, didn't go to college, and I've got a really unique story. You're welcome to watch it. You can scroll back on the channel. I have a video that went up just a couple days ago called My Story, How I'm Doing $1 Million a Year as a 21-year-old entrepreneur. And enjoy that video, soak it up. Hopefully this video was valuable for you. If you are ready to take the next step and scale your business, schedule a call with us using a link down below. Whether you're just getting started and you just want to cut straight to the meat and invest into help with people that only have your best interest in mind, or you are already succeeding and you just want to sort of level up that success, whichever stage you're at in your consulting or your agency business, if you have a service that you're selling or a coaching program that you're selling, we have models and strategies for filling your calendar with sales calls, literally to the brim, like 4 to 6 sales calls a day, and then helping you build an offer worth $3,000 to $10,000 that you can sell consistently based on your existing skills, your existing clients, what's already worked, or what you theorize should work with a niche or an industry that you're wanting to get after. We've helped create $3 million a year entrepreneurs through our programs, hands-on, literally from scratch. As well, we have tons of other testimonies. You can check out, I put out an Instagram post today just sharing some of the clients we've been able to work with that I've really enjoyed being able to help. So if that sounds like yourself, book your call using the link in the description or the top link in the comments, and I will see you either personally or my team will be speaking with you on that call, and they're extremely highly trained. A lot of the people on my team are actually people who went through the program that ended up succeeding, and I said, hey, do you want to just devote some of your career to coming back and sort of investing into the future growth of other entrepreneurs? And they said, absolutely, and now they help out. So it's a lot of fun. If you want to be a part of a world-class program that is getting consistent results, book your call down below. We'd love to speak with you. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.